I knew I would pick, because my question is pretty fitting right now, I guess. I really want practical advice. On the one hand, I'm really totally happy with my excitement when this energy is flowing through me. And on the other hand, I'm a little bit emotional with it. It's a good thing in and of itself, of course.
Then why is it the other hand?
I know that sounds crazy, but I'm working with clients, and I love translating the energy. I love giving messages, and I'm not a medium, you know, but I'm working with clients, and when I see or get hints for them or feel something for them, and I translate it. And when the energy is building up, I'm sitting there, and I almost have difficulties to talk. I have to pause almost, and my tears are running, you know, and it's...
Well, part of it has to do with the advantage that what you're going to say to them is to them, advantage or not advantage. When you are a translator of energy, you can translate beneficial things or not beneficial things. And so there are some intentions within you. Some things are left better not said. And that's when you get tongue-tied.
Oh, that's good to know.
Because most people would say, tell me what you really think. And their inner beings are saying, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't say anything to anybody that's upsetting in nature. Don't try to fix things for them by guarding them or warning them.
Oh. So, that I get that right, I actually meant that me personally, I'm so happy in that moment to be able to tell them how much love is there, you know?
Well, when you are really in that alignment, and we do not disagree with you, we acknowledge that, then it will flow easily. And so maybe there's something in your expectation that slows it down from time to time. Sometimes it's being a little too involved in how well you think they will receive it. And you see, that's the thing that's interesting when you are co-creating with someone else. You can be really tuned in. You can be, as you often are, and as you are right now, in alignment with who you are, and therefore receiving and flowing. But the person in the mix might be in a state of resistance. And so as you hold someone as your object of attention who's in a state of resistance, then that becomes part of your mix. Something that you could do that would be helpful for you in terms of your energy flow is to acknowledge that this person, no matter what, because sometimes they're hurting, sometimes they're hoping, sometimes they're troubled. In other words, there's a lot of variety in what their state of being is. If you could hold in your mind that every one of them has an inner being, and you could focus with your inner being on their inner being, who is always open, then your message would flow easily and clearly, and they might be ready to receive it and they might not. The thing that's important to know is that every single one of them has an inner being, and every single one of them has an inner being who's talking to them. And if they're not hearing their own inner being, then they're not likely to hear you translating for their inner being either. But at least the flowing process would feel better to you. Yes?
Yes, less emotional maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I have another question, quick question. Just
very quick.
Yes. Is there anything you can do as somebody who is trying to be more connected to their inner being for getting those instructions for other people? Is there anything I can do to get the information that I get more clearly? Because I'm a meditator, you know, every day.
We were just talking about that very thing. Their clarity does influence that. And there's a little bit that is hanging you up. And that is that your inner being, and you too also know that you are not meant to be the translator for all of them. You've come to be an example of that. And so if you will decide, if you will segment intend that those who come for you come ready to hear, and you will acknowledge that you will be able to feel the difference, and then on the occasion that they're not ready to hear, if you will set the intention that you will sort of switch hats a little bit from the intuitive, who is the reader of energy, to the teacher that you are born to be, which is helping them to understand why you're able to get it and why you aren't. Some years ago, the sheriff in the little town where Jerry and Esther were living called her and wanted her to help him solve a murder. And she said to him, "That's not the kind of work I do." And he said, "But I've heard about you, and I really want you to help me." And Esther said, "For me to help you find that body, I would have to focus on something that I am not willing to focus upon. I would have to bring my vibration to an entirely different place, which would prevent me from the work that I'm really doing. And I'm not willing to do it." You get the point?
Totally.
Yeah. This is a very good time for segmented reflection.